This program is brought to you in part by SalCal Real Estate Connections. Yes, we're back at our favorite race venue, Limerock Park, and today's show is going to be dedicated to the big four Group 7 and 8 cars. And as you could see, this Pantera we're looking at right now is a great example. I mean, let me tell you, this car is a real ground pounder. And I hope everybody stays tuned to watch the show, because it's going to be very interesting to see some of these cars, as you don't see some of these cars very often, especially this Pantera. It is just really something to see, and I hope you get a chance to come out to Limerock when you get a chance to see one of these events. You really won't be disappointed. We're going to be interviewing the owner of this car, Dick LaSalle, and believe me, it is going to be one interesting show about these big four cars.
We also want to salute Bob Melhado, who is the steward for this event at the...
Yes, we have Dick LaSalle with us, who owns this gorgeous Pantera, and I'll tell you, this car's a real ground pounder. I was standing next to it and was running and was shaking the ground.
It's a really great car. This is the first time we've been back since 2004, but I've owned the car since around 1990, so it's been a real passion of ours in terms of the car. We love it.
Now, was this car a race car all its life?
Yeah, it's one of the factory race cars. It started racing in '72. There were 14 of these made. There are 13 that exist today around the world.
Wow, 13.
That's right.
Now, where are you from?
Saratoga Springs. And Rick Bell is our driver. He's from Salisbury, and he's been driving here for a long time. He knows the track real well.
Yeah, we've seen him out there, you know, and he really does a good job. I have to say that. But this car really, I'm telling you, this brings me back to my childhood when I hear this thing. Now, have you run to different events in the country with this car?
Mainly in the Northeast. We have run it at Watkins Glen. We were here in '97. That was one of the first times that Rick drove the car. We've run it at Virginia, and it's just been a fun car to drive and to run and own.
Yeah, you know, we don't see them often, I'll tell you. You know, it's surprising me, because they made a lot of these cars, but not many race cars, naturally. Right. But you would think you would see more of the, you know, the street cars that be converted to race cars, but you don't see them.
No, for some reason you don't. And you have to have some history in order to be able to run in the vintage events. So there are very few of them that were raced back in '72, '73, '74. This is a very rare car in terms of running at events like this, and we've never run against another Pantera, or never seen another Pantera racing in all the years that we've been involved with this.
Yeah, that Managusta down there, I thought that, geez, I've never seen one in my life. That was the first time I ever saw one.
Yeah, that's a really nice car as well. Very nice car.
You know, it's nice to see the cars here, and we got to commend you for keeping it in the condition it's in, and we're going to keep an eye out for this car. I have a feeling this car is going to do well.
It should be up in the top 5 or so. It'll be a nice car to see, and we're looking forward to seeing it out there again. It's been 6 years, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, it's always a great, this Limerock place is just great, I'll tell you. I love this place, and you know, to come up here and see cars like this is like hitting the lottery, you know.
It is a lot of fun, it really is, and we get an awful lot of people coming over and just appreciating the fact that we brought the car and thanking us for bringing it, and it's really kind of special, so we're glad that the fans have enjoyed it.
Yeah, we just love coming here, I'll tell you. Thank you for your interview, and I'm sure you're going to have some fun here.
We will. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. You were excellent. Yes, we have Lilo Zekron here, who owns this absolutely interesting car. And I got a feeling this is a very rare car. Am I thinking right, Lilo?
Yes, it is. It's a 1969 De Tomaso Mangusta. And there was, I believe, about 200 of these cars made for the street. and very few of them were converted to race cars, and this is one of them. You know.
So this car was kind of a race car from day one?
No, well, we believe that in the mid-'70s it started racing. You know, maybe early '70s in the Florida region. It had SCC races and A Sports Racer. And then, you know, in the late '80s, that's when I acquired the car and then put it in storage. And then we started, you know, putting it back together. And about a couple years ago, we ended up racing it.
Now tell me, where are you from?
Originally from France.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where do you reside now?
We live in California, Burbank,
Okay.
California, in the Toluca Lake area.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Now, do you take this to many events?
We have. This year, we've done about, I believe, almost 8 or 9 events with this car. We were at the Monterey Historic recently, and we're going to finish the whole season with racing this car. Another 3 or 4 races.
I have a feeling that this car is a lot of fun.
It is. It's a handful to drive, but it gets the job done. It's a tough car, but it's really fun.
Yeah, we're going to be very interesting to see how you do out there, and I'm sure you're not in you got to be in a pretty interesting group. What group you in?
I'm not sure the group number. I haven't paid attention, but I do know there are some very fast cars with me, and you know, it'll be a fun race.
There'll be some ground pounders, right?
Absolutely. We in there.
Yeah. Well, I have to commend you. The car is really gorgeous. I'll tell you, this is the first one I have ever seen close up. I have never seen one before, so I know they got to be really rare.
They are very rare, and my guys at Toluca Lake Historics did a fantastic job in the handling and prepping the car. You know, and hopefully next year we're going to go into more of the detail in the paint job and the finishes, but we kept it pretty much the way it was, but it works really good.
Now, the motor in this car, is it like a 351 Ford motor?
No, it's a 289 basic, you know, small block Ford with a ZF transaxle. It's got 48 ID8 Webers, but it's nothing cheating. It's all to the rule of the FIA rules in the day. So it's a very simple, basic engine.
Yeah, that's what we like to see. You know, what was raced in the day. I know everybody gets a little zealous about how they're gonna, you know, they want to do really good in the race here, but that's not what this is about. You know, this is about seeing cars that raced in the day. Well, I have to commend you. The car is gorgeous, and I know you're going to have fun. We're going to have to watch you out there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your interview. You were excellent.
Thank you.
Let me tell you, Lilo's car was right at home against these big bore cars. As you could see, he hung right with them.
Yes, we have Tony Capranzano here who drives this beautiful Corvette, number 7. And I'll tell you, every time I come here, this car's looking better and better. I don't know what you're doing, but it's sure agreeing with the car.
Well, I'm really fortunate to have this opportunity. It's actually owned by Jim Glass Corvette of Kingston, New York, and I've just been fortunate enough to be able to drive the car in several races. I've been doing this for about 6 years now with Jim Glass Corvette, and it's just been a great opportunity. Having so much fun with the car, get these beautiful old cars out, let people see them.
Yeah, they are certainly beautiful. I don't see Jim's coupe here this weekend, but...
I usually drive that car, in fact. We went to the convertible this year. The coupe is safely stored away up at his shop in Kingston, so, you know, we're driving a convertible today. He gave me a little reprieve from the heat, so I get to use the convertible.
Yeah, is it that much different when you have the open cockpit?
Well, the difference is more in, not so much in the heat. You know, it's hot in there as well, but the difference is more in the weight. These cars a little bit quicker around this course. You know, it's a twisty course. The coupes are a little heavier, so they tend to slide a little more. I don't know if you saw it last year. I was kind of dirt tracking it a little bit, but this car is really terrific, and the coupes are heavier.
Yeah, the Corvettes seem to like this place, you know, and we always love watching them up here. I'm sure they're a crowd favorite, too.
Yeah, I think so. We get a lot of people coming by looking at them and saying they're so nice, and a bunch of little kids come in, we let them sit in the car, and they get a real thrill out of it.
Well, we want to wish you luck this weekend, Tony, and we're going to keep an eye out for you out there. I got a feeling you're going to do well.
Well, thanks very much. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.
Good job.
Tony was no stranger to the Limerock track, and he really looks great out there as he does an excellent job.
Yes, we have Mark Ferrara with us, who owns this absolutely gorgeous Corvette. I'm not sure what year, but I bet you know a few things about this car, Mark.
Yeah, you might say that. It's a 1970 Corvette. It's got a 40-year racing history. It's originally a Midwest car, originally sponsored by Jay Klein, driven by John Beeza and a host of other people. I've been fortunate enough to own the car for about 3 years now, and a good friend of mine and a mentor, Jim Glass, restored the car to absolute perfection.
Yeah, I've seen Jim's work. He's really a perfectionist, and every car he brings here is gorgeous.
Well, Jimmy's more than just a restorer. He's a racer and he's a good friend. And I wouldn't be able to get here without him, so I have to say thanks, Jim. Appreciate it.
Now, where are you from, Mark?
Originally I grew up in New York, spent a good time in Los Angeles, and I'm back here on the East Coast.
What motor does this car have?
It's a small block 350, and that's about it.
Now, have you gone to other events with this car beside Limerock?
Yes, I've raced literally up and down the whole East Coast, and also on the West Coast as well.
How do you like Limerock compared to all these other tracks?
Well, it's my home track. I'm a Skippy graduate, and Bruce McInnes and Bob Green and MHP and a whole host of the other guys got me into it, and now I can't get enough, so I have to thank them too.
Oh, absolutely. I'm telling you, we love this place. You know, I've been away. I've been actually down to Florida. I was at a road race event down there, but I'll tell you, I just couldn't warm up to the place like here. I mean, this place is special.
No, there's nowhere in the country that's like Limerock. If you can race at Limerock and be competitive, you can race anywhere in the country.
Yeah, it's a tight place.
Yes.
Especially when you got those big motors.
Yes, it is. It's an interesting place to race, no question about it.
Well, I'll tell you, I want to thank you for your interview, and we're going to keep an eye out for you. I see how you do out there, but judging by your smile, I think you're having a lot of fun.
Yes, I am. I'll do my best. Thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot.
Take care.
You're great.
As you can see, Mark's car is really a beautiful car, and when he was out in that racetrack, as you're going to see here in a minute or so, he really looked right at home. I mean, he's out there with some real heavy hitters. And let me tell you, he got this thing around this track just like he was just born to do this.
Available for just $7. You can get your copy of the Speaking of Lotus.
Yes, we have Norm Cowdray here, drives this beautiful number 25. Looks like a Can-Am car. I'm not even sure what it is, but I got a feeling you know what this car is.
Oh yeah, it's a Can-Am car. It's called the Wedge because of the shape. Bob McKee built this back in 1967, and this is the car that Paul Newman used in the movie Winning, and the opening scenes of Winning. And this isn't a replica. This is the original car. And this is the car that got Paul Newman hooked on racing. Yeah, they wanted to use a double, and he went, no, you can't get me out of this car. So, and he loved this car, and so I'm just the temporary owner of this car for who knows who the next person will be. I suppose my son.
Where are you from, Norm?
We're from California. We came all the way out here, Central California, Camarillo, and we went to Road America and left the car there for about a month. And we're here, then we go to Watkins Glen, and then we go home.
Yeah, it's. I'll tell you, the vintage events are beginning to be so popular. I think you're going to see a lot of national coverage pretty soon. You only see it in a few places now, but I think it's coming. This sport is just growing and growing, you know, and when you have cars like this with the history this car has, it's really something special, you know.
Oh yeah, it was also sponsored by the Smothers Brothers. They were into racing for a while, so you know they were. It's been around. The history, a lot of the history is right there on the tail.
Yeah, I was looking at it. This car was raced pretty extensively.
Actually, that's not all of it. It was actually raced in a lot of different forms. It started off with a Chevy in it, and then it went to an Oldsmobile. It was with the Webers on it. It was fuel injected, and then it was the first turbo car. in Can-Am series. And then we actually went to a Roots blower in the 70s, and so it's been around the block.
Let me tell you, stepping on the gas here got to be an exciting thing.
Yeah, it's this is a little bit too much of a car for this track, but it likes a track like Road America a little better. But I've been wanting to come here. Matter of fact, when I walked in the gate, I just got goosebumps.
The history here with Paul Newman and
Awesome.
and Bob Sharp. I mean, we love this place.
I can see why. It's beautiful.
You know, it's just a special place. And we're certainly glad you made the trip out here. We're going to keep an eye out in the racetrack to see how you do, but I'll tell you, the car's gorgeous.
Well, if anybody has the old movie Winning, look for about the first 10 minutes and you'll see this car.
I'm going to look that up because I am a buff when it comes to that kind of history.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks a lot, Norm. You were great.
All right, thank you.
Good. Thanks for coming out here. Yes, we have AC D Augustine that drives this absolutely gorgeous number 17. I'm not really sure what it is, but I got a feeling you know a little bit about this car.
Well, it's a Genie Mark 10B built by Huffaker back in 1965. There's actually another Genie here this weekend, but this car is very unusual because it was the last Genie built. And it's the only car with knockoff wheels. It has some other changes as well. It's kind of from an interesting era, you know, 1965. It was just before Can-Am, which came on in '66. All the cars changed dramatically then. And although Huffaker was going to build a number more cars, sort of circumstances overcame him. McLaren started building some very quick cars, and the Genie just got obsoleted. The first of these cars were Mark 8s. They were started in 1962, so they built them for about 3 years.
So what kind of motor does this car have?
Yeah, it's a Chevy 350, small block. The original car actually had a 355 Chevy in it with some big Webers.
Now, if memory serves me correct, these cars were one of the very early cars to actually have a mid-engine engine in them. Race car.
You know, early 60s they started doing that. So Lotus was doing it. A friend of mine has a Lotus 19 here. It's a mid-engine car. And this was the state of the art in the early 60s, you know. But you can see there's no aerodynamics on the car at all. It's a pretty car, but no aero at all. And then 66, cars started changing dramatically.
Yeah, it is a pretty car, and I have to commend you. You really keep it nice. Where are you from?
Breckenridge, Colorado.
Colorado, wow.
Yeah, so we came a little distance to get here.
Yeah.
But this is a fun event. You know, really nice turnout of cars. I actually just came up from Monterey. I was there a couple weekends ago. And it's really nice to see a good turnout, some spectacular cars here on the East Coast.
Oh, absolutely. We love this event. It's our favorite event of the year. And I'll tell you, I'm like a kid in a candy store. I don't know what to look at next.
I know how you feel.
But I want to thank you for your interview, and we'll keep an eye out there, too, because if you're in Group 8, you're with a few ground pounders.
Yeah, we're in there with a bunch of chevrons and some cars that are pretty quick, and I'm still sort of learning the track, so I'm not setting any records out there this weekend.
Well,
we'll keep the shiny side up.
That's right. It's not about winning and losing. That's for sure.
No, it's all about the cars, and you can see with this one, we kept it very original. The original guy who drove it, Merle Brennan, was a privateer, actually ran in Can-Am, and we tried to keep all the livery the way it was originally.
Well, very good. We certainly think the car is pretty, and I'm anxious to see you out there.
Okay, well, listen to it. It sounds good, too.
I bet.
Nice to meet you, Larry.
Nice meeting you. Thank you. You were
Okay.
excellent.
Yeah, AC knew how to bring this car around this place, and boy, let me tell you, he was not taking it easy. He was really putting in some great times.
Yes, we have Ed Stewart with us, who has this absolutely beautiful Chevron race car. And I'll tell you, Ed, this car is kind of stunning looking. What could you tell me about it?
Well, this car, actually, I run one like this when they were new in 1971. They were very good 2-liter type Can-Am cars. We call them FIA sports racers. They're very, very fast. And they have like almost 300 horsepower, and they only weigh like 1,100 pounds, so you can imagine. And they're great for this track. I ran this particular car here at Limerock in 1995 for the first time, and I'm glad to be back here after 15 years.
Yeah, it has to be a thrill to come back, actually.
Definitely, yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from the Netherlands, from Holland. And I moved to California 30 years ago.
So you've been vintage racing long?
Yes, I've vintage raced since 1976, and before that I was professional racing in Fiat Abarths, and I raced Chevrons as well there. And I bought a Chevron like this new in 1971, racing for Canon cameras in Europe. And This race is actually my 504th race. I did my 500th race in California in Sonoma a few weeks ago.
Oh, you must have had a bottle of champagne that night.
I definitely did. Yeah, it was fun.
Wow, I don't know who's got a better history, you or the car.
I think both, but I've been on a little longer than the car, yeah. But I've raced all my life, and I also organize historic races like this in the West Coast in California, like a company called HSR West, Historic Sports Car Racing West, and we do 7 events a year.
Well, I'll tell you, I think the sport is growing. I think you're going to start seeing some national coverage. I mean, there's some now, but not that much. And I think that we're only in the beginning of what's going to happen with this vintage racing. I think it's going to become a very, very popular thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've seen it growing tremendously already, and it slowed down a little bit with the economy, but I think it will come back strong very soon. And the big events like this are very well attended by everybody.
Oh, absolutely. People love coming here. People love watching it on TV. Over the weekend, there'll be people all over the place here. They just love this place. And I'll tell you, Limerock is special too. It's just a beautiful place to come to.
Yeah, it's a great spectator event here, and the whole setting here with all the trees is tremendous. We don't have that in California. That's why a lot of people from California came here to run, and here in Watkins Glen they do the 2 races in a row like we do.
Yeah.
Come a long way, but it's worth it.
It's worth it because you just see things you never see, out on the West Coast. Well, I want to wish you a lot of luck. I know you're going to have some fun, and we're going to have to keep our eye out and see how you do on that racetrack.
Thank you. I will.
Thanks for your interview. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Ed. You were great.
Ed was a professional racer for many years, and it really showed. He handled this car just excellent out on the racetrack, and the car, believe me, just looked great out there. And as you could see too, the Limerock faithful were out in full force. I mean, not only did they get absolutely gorgeous weather, they got a chance to see some of the best vintage car racing I think in the world. I mean, the event this year was just outstanding. I cannot say enough. And as the host track, Limerock Park, they just do an outstanding job. And I hope everybody gets a chance to get out and see this event Labor Day weekend. Believe me, you will not be disappointed. And as we show you some pictures of the cars we happen to look at today, I hope everybody has enjoyed the show as much as we have producing it. I mean, it has been just one outstanding event here up at Limerock, and I really want to thank our crew for all the great things they do. Dwayne Cody, Bill Majak, David Seidlinger, our media person Lisa Backus, they just do an outstanding job. But I'll tell you, all in all, the people who are responsible for this event up at Limerock and the organization that puts this together, I mean, they are really doing an excellent job. We're going to be probably doing one more show from Limerock at this vintage event, as we're starting to wind down to getting close to all the people we talked to. But believe me, today's show was something special. I mean, those Group 7 and 8 cars really are ground pounders and something to see. Please return next week on our next episode on Racing Action Today. This program is brought to you in part by SalCal Real Estate Connections. Special thanks to the Racing Action Today crew, Dwayne Cody, Bill Majak, David Seidlinger, and Lisa Backus. And also we want to thank our home station, Nutmeg TV, for all their support. We want to thank Just Results Weight Loss Center in Bristol, Connecticut for all their support. And also we want to thank Big Apple Pizza for all their support and all the great things they do down at their restaurants. And we want to welcome Lisa Moriano and American Embroidery for their support and also for the great things they do at their shop.